Admit it, some of us were way too old when we started really learning about money. We've got to fix that for our kids. I'm Kalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays JA. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those post notifications. Also subscribe to our newsletter by clicking the link up here or in the description box below. You'll get access to a transcript of this episode and other awesome stuff such as promo codes from my masterclass. So there's been a lot of talk in recent years about creating generational wealth, securing a great financial legacy for our children so that they don't have to struggle after we're gone. But while we're all out here getting the bag, some of us are forgetting one of the most important parts of generational wealth, teaching our kids to manage money so that once they get the bag, they don't fumble it. In this episode, I'm going to teach you some fun and easy ways to introduce finances to your children. So first things first, it's never too early to start teaching your children about money. Think about all the values your parents taught you as a child. You probably still remember them and apply them to your life now. It's the same with money. The earlier they learn, the better. I actually have a video where I talked about all the financial lessons I learned from my parents, and you can check that out up here. So my first tip, and this one is great for younger kids, would be to get your child a piggy bank. A piggy bank is one of the easiest ways to introduce saving to your children, and they're super common. I mean, most of us had one growing up, whether it was shaped like an actual pig or it was a Pringles tin with a hole cut in the cover. Younger kids especially will love this because they get to drop the coins in through the slot. You could also turn saving with a piggy bank into a lesson and a game. First, start by teaching your child what each coin looks like. $5, $10, $20. Then eventually you can start asking them to drop a specific coin into their piggy bank whenever they see one. And nowadays, there are some more high-tech piggy banks that are shaped more like a bank vault than a pig. They come with security codes, and your little ones can watch as the money gets dropped in. However it's shaped, your child will still be learning how to save, and if they should ever want a sweetie or something to drink, they can proudly say that they have their own money to buy it. The next tip is perfect now that kids are returning to physical classrooms. Give your children their lunch money for the whole week at the start of the week. Now, I know that this sounds risky, and I would definitely recommend this more for older children, at least 8 years and up, but it's a great way to teach them to be responsible with their money, and it also lets them feel independent. They'll have to learn how to budget throughout the week to ensure that the money lasts. Have a discussion with them beforehand and explain that if they spend it all before the week is over, then that's it. It's also a good way to learn about saving. If there's something that they really want to buy, they can budget lunch and bus fare and then save the rest towards that goal. Another option is to pay your children for completing chores or tasks. It might not seem fair because we had to do chores for free, but we're trying to raise financially literate kids. So, by paying them for chores, you're introducing them to the working world where they will have to provide good work to make money. They don't have to be paid any great sums of money, just enough to keep them motivated. I mean, it's a win-win. Your child will have some pocket money and you'll have a clean house. And you can take it up a notch by introducing taxes. For instance, if you're paying your child $100 to sweep up, then hold on to 20 and give them the remainder. It'll be their first introduction to taxes. They might complain, but so do we about taxes. That's life. You can continue saving the taxes and give them as a refund at the end of the year, or put it in their savings, or just leave it with the government, which is you. You might also want to start having your children watch as you pay the bills. Explain to them how much goes toward each bill and how much money the family has left for the month. Now, the idea here is to show them the reality of bills and why it's important to pay them on time. It may also make them more understanding if one month they can't get a new toy or a game. So those are some of the basics that you may have heard before, but we also have to start introducing concepts about money early on. How money works, ways that it can be earned and used to create even more money. There are 3 key terms that you should teach them very early: entrepreneurship, investing, and assets. I talk about these all the time. And it's easier than you may think to get them started. You can identify something that your child loves and shows interest in and start a business for them centered on that. For example, my daughter Nerisi, big girl genius, is 3 and she loves to tell stories. So we started a YouTube channel for her to tell her stories. There's also an American company called Nails by Ryder K that sells Mommy and Me nail polish. It's owned by 4-year-old Ryder K and run by her mom, Cheyenne. Not to mention Ryan from Ryan's World on YouTube, who's consistently one of the platform's highest earners, and he's not even 10 years old yet. And have you seen any of these kids like on Shark Tank making the pitches, like 9 and 10 years old, making multi-million-dollar deals? Like, it is possible. So if you're a business owner and your children are a bit older, you can start showing them the behind the scenes of your business and ask for their input and help. So my daughter Alexa designed our Let's Get This Money sign, and she used to help out with logistics and editing before she even started college. She's still in high school. And I also encouraged her to register her own business, Alexa R Arts, before she was even 18 years old. So the idea is to introduce them to these concepts as early as possible. Now, it's the same with investing and having assets. Savings bonds are usually considered a safe, straightforward investment that will earn interest over time. Plus, minors can hold bonds in their name, which makes them a perfect gift for kids. You have to be a certain age before you can open an investment account, so you can't get one for really young children. However, you can make investments in companies that will benefit your children, and also you can also add your child as a co-owner of the investment account. So if they're under 18, an adult still needs to be the main person on that account, but the child can be a co-owner of the account. Now, as for assets like real estate, etc., once there aren't any outstanding payments like mortgages and loans, then you can add your child's name to the title. This allows them to have a head start in the market when the time comes. But I think the important thing here, even beyond adding a name to the title, is just explaining the concept of owning a home, explaining the concept of having a mortgage, how you get equity in that home, as opposed to paying rent, and explaining how the whole system works. Now, as a reminder, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so you should consult a licensed financial advisor who knows your specific situation before you make any investment decisions. Creating generational wealth is a 2-part process: working hard and smart, and education. We have to teach our children all the tips and tricks we learned or didn't learn when we were young so that they can continue building wealth. That's it for this episode of Money Mondays JA. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and sign up for my newsletter at KalilaReynolds.com/newsletter. You can also take my Investing for Beginners Masterclass at KalilaReynolds.com/masterclass, and you can click the links in the description box below. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, as well as TikTok at Kalila Ray, and on Facebook at Kalila Reynolds Media. And find us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.